We are learning some new information about Liam Payne's demise. They're now saying that he had something in his system that even I've never heard before. And also, on top of that, they're also trying to find the person who facilitated this particular substance. Let's talk about it.
Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal.
What's up? Liam Payne's passing has been it's been devastating, guys. It's unfortunate. It's a very bad, very, very sad situation. And honestly, I will be real. This should be a huge wake-up call to let people know, keep your hands off those substances. And if you do have any issues, you feel like you have any of these unthinkable ideations, please call somebody, talk to somebody. Okay. There's a lot of people out here that love you. Real talk. Okay. There's that hotline 988. Definitely use it. Okay. There's always somebody out there to direct you towards the end of that dark tunnel, because the end of that dark tunnel, there is light. I just have to say that really quick. But now we're understanding a little bit, okay? This One Direction, former member of One Direction, Liam Payne. Of course, he was found unalive outside at the floor, right outside the back of his hotel room, where he allegedly took a leap from his third floor balcony. It's been absolutely crazy. A lot of people have been wondering, was he pushed? Did something bad happen here? But now we're starting to see not only just the signs that were a dead giveaway in his hotel room, how he left his hotel room in disarray. I mean, it was an absolute shambles. But now we're understanding that there were other things. There were some things in his system, a substance in his system that I've never heard of before. And maybe it's a big thing in South America. I do not know. But all I know is police are looking at this. And then also on top of that, which we of course are going to talk about in a little bit, they're looking for a hotel employee that apparently supplied Liam Payne with this stuff. And maybe some of the ladies that he was hanging out with as well. Let's take a look at this article. Like I say, and I'm going to say it again, just say no. Okay? Maybe I hadn't said it yet, but I'm going to say it now. Just say no. Okay? Just say no. But let's take a look at this, all right? And this is very interesting. So he was potentially under the influence of a potent substance, we got to use these code words, known to cause psychotic attacks and hallucinations, and according to when he passed, all right? And this is according to the police. So the cops in Buenos Aires, they're saying that they're operating a theory that he was high on a substance known as cristal, and not the crystal that we know, unless it's the same crystal and they just spell it differently. I don't know. Maybe it's a much more potent thing. I don't know, but it's very, very interesting, right? Okay. But it's called crystal with an I, not a Y, right? So they say the police say that it causes users to experience extreme highs and extreme lows, often making them aggressive. Now, this would make total sense, especially with the information that's been said about how he was smashing his laptop in the lobby, how his behavior was extremely erratic and out of this world. Okay, how he walked out of the elevator and fell flat on his face, and like I said, losing balance and all that. If he was on this strong substance, there's a possibility that this could have been the reason why the fall happened. You just never know. But let's continue on. All right. So photos from inside the hotel obviously show that it was covered in paraphernalia. Okay. Covered in all kinds of stuff. You know for a fact, and the TV was smashed. You know for a fact that this was very, 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 very bad. Okay. He was on something big time. And it could have been a combination of alcohol and these other substances as well, or a mixture of all these things together, if you will, that caused him to get this zooted, this wasted, and then, God forbid, the unthinkable happens, right? So they say, cops say this substance use might be the reason the room was in such a mess. Obviously, okay. I mean, that's a full-on dead giveaway, guys. Okay, that the hotel room was in absolute disarray. There was paraphernalia all over the place. Clearly, you could do the math And it definitely makes a whole lot of sense. And they say that it could have been why he was in, maybe he was in a specific state of mind that caused him to do possibly an S, because we can't use that word either. Okay. They say that police have said that Liam jumped, okay, from the balcony. And they think that it could be the effects from the actual hallucinogenic substance that was in his system. And again, I got to ask this, and this is just what I think in my head. Did he possibly think that he could? I mean, this sounds crazy, but did he possibly think that he could fly? Did he possibly think, and this is not a joke, did he possibly think he could fly? Did he possibly think that he could, maybe if I'm correct, I think there was a pool in the backyard or in the back of this hotel. Did he think that he could maybe jump and make it to the pool? Just take a big leap and try to make it to the pool, but falling short of the pool? I mean, like I said, whatever was going on in his mind, he might have thought he could fly, for crying out loud. God only knows, right? Or did something happen here? Because you also got to remember, he never left a note behind. A note was never left behind or anything of that sort. Did this just happen with all the pressures of all the things that are going on in his life? I mean, and I don't know what happened between him and his girlfriend and why his girlfriend had to leave. Maybe it was work related, maybe it was relationship related, but she did leave a little bit before all of this went down. So it does make you wonder why this whole thing, was that a combination of that plus, the cease and desist from the ex-fiance, the being dropped from his label and the label asking for their money back because they didn't make any money from, producing his latest album that they're going to shelf and all that. Like it's one thing after the other. So being under the influence of something like that, could it possibly be a thing that all things just came to a head and he just, you know what I mean? I don't know. Or it could have just been a situation where he's stressed. He takes this thing to blow off some steam. Suddenly it has some crazy effects that he's never been used to. He's doing this allegedly by himself, allegedly. And then all of a sudden, tragedy ensues. That's the other thing too, I guess. Where was his partners or where were his handlers? Because apparently there was somebody, a handler, that went up to a female witness and said, I'm really sorry for how he's acting, and someone people carried him up to his hotel room after he smashed the laptop. So where were they when this whole thing went down? That's the question I'd like to know. But police are also looking into this situation as well, which I think is very interesting. The hotel employee that allegedly hooked him up with this substance. What's interesting about this is apparently he did not only hook Liam Payne with this substance, but he also hooked him up with some ladies. Now, from my understanding, some of these hotels will, especially if you're at a certain level of status, money, finance or fame, of course, they want to make sure that you are having the greatest time of your life, because it takes 2 seconds to put out a tweet or do a live video about a hotel that screwed you over or treated you terribly, right? That influence can ruin a hotel. So they have these employees, I guess, these plugs, if you will, that got that hookup. That if you're looking for any type of thing like a substance or ladies or some mans, they will hook you up with those things. So now they're alleging that this particular hotel employee was the plug for Liam Payne. Let's take a look at this. And again, very interesting stuff. Very, very interesting. It's likely he was using substances in the time leading up to his demise. Yes, I think you can basically put the math together. It's a done deal. A source in the prosecutor's office with knowledge of the investigation, who requested to remain confidential because of the sensitivity of his position, tells People, the article we're reading here, that prosecutors believe the substances were procured for Payne by a hotel employee before the former One Direction member, of course, before his demise, okay, before this tragedy, all right, in the Casa Sur Palermo Hotel in Buenos Aires, Argentina, okay? There appears to be evidence that a hotel employee sourced the substances for Payne. An indictment for this distribution could follow shortly. So, in other words, kind of like what happened with Matthew Perry. There's a possibility that they're going to try to find the plug, and maybe they'll do reverse math and find even more. They'll deep dive into this, and maybe they'll take a lot of bad people off the streets. That's what I'm hoping for. But let's continue on. Okay. In a public statement translated from Spanish, the prosecutor has said that he is keeping all avenues of investigation open, including foul play. So foul play is still on the docket. It is still on the table, guys. And in particular, looking into who supplied Payne with substances in the hours leading up to his demise that were purportedly found in his hotel room. The investigation also aims to determine the potential involvement of third parties leading up to his demise. Like I said, who are these other people? You're telling me he did all this stuff by himself? He was in that room all by his lonesome and he was kicking it? There's a possibility he did that, but it doesn't make any sense to me. Okay? It just seems a little bit weird. Multiple sources previously told people that Payne was asked to leave another hotel, okay, after appearing intoxicated and bothering other guests. So he's been on one. The hotel had no comment on the matter. Now, when it comes to this whole thing, all right, let's be real. We know about these hotel employees. Not all employees. I'm just saying some hotels got that hookup. Some hotels got that plug. Maybe the hotel knows about it, and maybe the hotel does not know about it. There's many, many possibilities with that. But on some real stuff, we've heard those stories a million times before. Where there is a particular employee, it could be the guy serving you the food, to the bellboy. It could be anybody, right? That suddenly has the hookup to all kinds of substances. If you need that green, if you need that white, if you're looking for some ladies, if you're looking for some men, it can be a plethora of different things. The whole thing, the whole purpose is to make sure that that particular tenant, that particular person that's coming in to stay at that hotel is having a great time and leaves with a smile on their face. So they only think about, man, I got to get back to Casa Sur Palermo Hotel. You know, when I go back to Argentina, when I go back to Buenos Aires, I'm going right there because I had a great time last time, and I'm going to do it again, right? So again, I'm hoping that they find out who the hell this person was, who the plug was, because we really do need to figure out what really happened here, because you never know. That plug could have been in there, could have been right there with him during this whole situation. What about the ladies? There were ladies allegedly involved in this situation too. Did they leave before or did they leave after the accident happened or this tragedy happened? Again, it does make you wonder what actually happened here. Okay. Did somebody else take it with him, this substance called crystal, and then maybe some crazy fight happened, maybe a small little tussle or something like that happened, and then he just went right over the edge? I don't know. But I'm hoping that they look at the situations and we find out what actually happened. Where's the security cam footage? Where's the security cam footage? Where's the proof? Right? Let's see some evidence, some footage, so we can get a better idea of what actually happened. Who walked into his hotel room and who actually walked out? That's something I would love to get answered here very soon. But the plot thickens, I guess, ladies and gentlemen. The plot thickens. Anyway, guys, that's the video. Comment down below. Let me know what your thoughts are. Hit that like button down below. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, please and thank you. Also, hit that follow button if you're watching on other platforms. It'd be great to have you a part of the Pascal Show family. Anyway, it's time to get going. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. We'll talk soon. This is the Pascal Show. Bye.
Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild.